Hi everybody, welcome to the thumb. It's like I want to say October 15th, kind of chilly out. Supposed to warm up next week sometime again, back up into the 60s, 70s. But I decided to give my classic Edge a test run. And I'm kind of glad I did. Um, yeah, I started it up, everything was going pretty good. Went to shut the door, and the door switch didn't seem to be working. And so I always, actually, one time I caught the little thingy. I caught that one time with my jacket sleeve or something, and about ripped it off. So I had an extra one or a new one sitting in my parts department, and yeah, put that in, and it still didn't work. I just completely jumped it, still didn't work, and it's always been a little bit of a fear of mine, but and I've smelled, like mouse pee smells, has a certain smell to it, and guess what? I don't smell any mouse pee, but let me turn this camera around and I'll show you what I found. Well, here's what was up there in my box. Nice little mouse nest, but it was up here in my main control box. Never had one. I've never opened this before, so I didn't know what to expect, but this is what I didn't want to see. But yeah, there's a few wires, like, I don't know, I'm guessing these two. That's why I put my glasses on to see where those two wires go. But anyway, there's some wiring diagrams and stuff like that in there. If nothing else, I can go look at my manual, but it's probably on there somewhere. But I gotta fix them either way, but I might just fix them and try it. But me being a guy, that's what we do. But yeah, I see this wire is burned off. I think these ones go down to the to this box, where all the actuators and the fan and all that stuff is. Yeah, there's some bare wires here. The bare ones I'll just tape up, but yeah, these ones I'm just gonna have to put like a butt connector on and redo them. Yeah, and this one here is pretty well chewed off. Looks like that's yeah, I could probably just cut that off, and looks like that's a reusable connector. Probably what I'll do with that one. Yeah, and I'll check the rest over. Oh, there's a little bare spot. That looks like it's probably just a neutral or something, but mice are funny. I remember back when I first got out of high school, I worked at a John Deere dealer, and a guy had a bunch of mice get up into the wiring in his cab, in his combine, and mice would, they'd pick a color. It must have tasted different or something, and they'd just go along and just eat that color down through a whole wiring harness like this. It just, oh, I like red, I like red, I like red, I like red, and they just eat it all. And but yeah, I don't know what goes through a mouse's mind, but I know there's going to be some mouse poison and some rodent repellent in here from now on. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and fix everything up and let you know how it went. I'm not gonna bore you to death with letting you watch me do it, but I'll let you know what I come up with. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this or not, but yeah, this is like a renewable. I don't know. I'm guessing that's just a neutral wire, but either way, I wanted to get the bareness out of it. But yeah, it's a reusable one. You just flip this little lever up, I shortened the wire, just cut off the bad spot, and stuck it back in there. You can actually see it up in there. But yeah, so that wire is fixed. I think next thing I'm going to do is, let's see if I can pull this connector right off of there. Yeah, see, I can pull that connector right off. And while I have that off, I might just get my continuity tester and just see if that wire is the one that goes down to see if this plug is the one that comes down to these wires. I'm not sure, but I probably could, like I said, I could find a wiring diagram. But yeah, then I'm just going to, put some butt connectors on them. If I had the right tool, I could just replace that wire in there, but I don't. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so like I said, either way, I got to fix these two wires, but what I'm going to do is Since they're both pretty well shot, I'm gonna twist them together, basically create a kind of a jumper wire. I'm gonna plug it back in. Figure out which side's which. Okay, now I'm gonna just test the wires that plugged into the where the door switch plugs into. Okay, seems like them are the right ones. They're the only ones chewed right off, so I'm assuming that's got to be them. Okay, now that they're off, no continuity. Problem found. Okay, so now we know for sure that's what it is. That's a good deal. Okay, I'm going to just start by pulling these wires out of this harness. So I can cut some out of them and still be able to, they can still function. By the way, I did shut the power off to this already, just so you know, just so somebody in the comments doesn't say, oh, you know, you should shut the power off. So, yeah, so I did. All just to make everyone happy and not die. Most of it's just low volt stuff, but okay, so what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to try to keep as much of this wire here as I can, but I'm going to just strip off everything that looks real bad. Okay. That went pretty good, actually. My cutters on my wire strippers are getting a little wore out. Kind of like me. Actually, I've had those things for probably close to 20 years. And they've stripped a lot of wires. Okay, so I probably could use red butt connectors on these. But I grabbed blue, and I don't feel like walking back to my van, so blue it is. Okay, hopefully I get it right the first time, because I don't have a lot of wire left to shorten. Okay, that takes care of that end. I'm going to do the same thing on the wires on this end. Gonna keep as much there as I can. I'm not even going to bother trying with those. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, now I'm just going to go pink to pink and green to green. So when I went and got some tools and stuff, I looked in my shop. I thought I had some stuff called Cab Fresh. I think that's what it's called. It's a rodent repellent that I think it's made for like tractors and combines and stuff that sit for long periods of time to keep stuff like this from happening. I put it in my deer blinds actually on the off season, and it seems to help, or it seems to work. I was gonna put some of that in here. I mean, I still can. I just don't have it right now. But I brought some steel wool over. I'm gonna try to shove some of that down in there. Yeah, some of these wires are just kind of like, they're just kind of skinned up. They're not really chewed through completely. You can see bare wires, but I'm just going to tape them up. I think it'll be fine. I mean, it wasn't shorting out with that mouse nest in there, because I had it running for, I don't know, I was probably had it running for an hour or so, because I got a fire going in it right now. I opened my bottom door where you clean out the ashes, and I guess they call it the reaction chamber part. That door is open, but okay, so I think I got all the wires cleaned up there. Plug that guy back in. I saw, yeah, there's one there. Well, I guess I fixed that one. You see me do that. There's like a white one. I don't know if that's a neutral. I guess either way I should get it covered. That's just kind of skinned up too. It's not really nothing like those other ones were. Those other ones must have been right in their way that they wanted to get them out of there, so they were chewing the heck out of them. Yeah, I don't see no other bare wires. Well, I'm going to try to turn the power back on and see what happens. Should say the door is not working. Yeah, see, it says door. That means the door is open, which it's really not. I don't know what's going to happen when I do this, so don't laugh at me if I burn my face off. Ooh, it's like cooked shut. Got to take that off for a second so I can plug this all back in. So here's what's going on. A lot of condensation in there. You can see the water just dripping down the sides. That's because the water is only, what is the water at? Probably, yeah, 88 degrees. But yeah, I got a pretty good fire blazing in there. Yeah, I got to put this door switch back on. And you kind of have to have the door open to do that. So I guess the honeymoon's over with this thing. Okay. Now it just says the bypass is open, which it is. And that's fine. I should yep, that actually works. But I'm going to leave it open for a while because it's not ready to go through the gasification chamber yet. Yeah, I'm just going to put some steel wool right up around there, because you can kind of see some gaps. That must be where they got in, because everything else is steel, so not really any place else they could get in. But I'm going to stick some steel wool up in there, and I'm going to get some of that cab fresh and probably just like stick it right up in here or something. And I got some mouse poison. I I've tried a bunch of different kinds, but this actually works the best. I use it in the barns and everything else too. I go through about a case of this a year. But last year I had some kind of down in there, but yeah, there's still a little chunk of it there. So they must have still been looking for a home. But I'll put some fresh stuff down there. Maybe they'll eat it and die. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, I decided the steel wool wasn't such a great idea. I'm not gonna leave that in there. Yeah, I was gonna just kind of line this hole outside, but when I was doing it, when I was shoving that in there, I kind of got it on these wires here, and it like burst into flames. There was another little cut there. I guess I would just get some of that fresh cab and put that in there, or cab fresh, whatever it's called. Put that in there and poison the crap out of it, and hope that does it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I would rather do that than take a chance on steel wool catching fire. So that's what I'll do. Well, I got that all closed back up. Hopefully everything will be good for at least the season. Guess I'll have to open it back up to put my repellent in there. But everything's going good so far. The only other thing I got to do today, pretty much right now, is a couple weeks ago I just turned all the pump motors on just to see if they worked or not, and this one here did not. It's the one that goes to the house, and yeah, this one, that one seems to be running fine. This one here quit a long time ago, but it was just an extra circuit, and I don't know, just put it so it was bypassing all the time, and yeah, it doesn't really need to have it on there. I'm thinking someday I might use that extra one and just somewhere in here just put a kiln, like just to dry out the wood and stuff and warm it up a little. But anyway, extra one. So I got to pull this motor off and take the wire out of this and put it in the new pump. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, just wanted to cut all the zip ties on these just to get that wire ready, I just bought plugs and just plugged them in, and then I got this it's like a strip like you'd use in your house, because there's only like 2 plugs here, and had 3 motors to run. So doing the math, I saw that I needed more plugs, so I bought more. Now I have more. Now I'm happy. So yeah, these are, I'm trying to think. Yeah, this actually isn't even the original motor that I put in. I changed it once. I can't remember if the other one went bad or if I changed it just to make it bigger. I think I changed it. Let me get this out of my way. Well, that's for that motor. Yeah, either way. Oops, I opened my valve a little bit. This might be a good time for you to fast forward. Good time for you to subscribe, because it's kind of boring. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to shut this off. Okay, I think I got my my battery went dead on my microphone, so hopefully you can still hear this, but
got the motor changed. I'm just gonna, the way I usually test those, just, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but yeah, you can hear the water flowing through there. And you can hear it shut off when I turn the valve. And so now I want to just check the wood again real quick. Yeah, she's cooking pretty good. Should probably throw some more in there. But first, I'm going to shut this bypass door just to make sure everything. See, it's up to 154 degrees. I usually, they say to not turn it on until it gets up to like 175, but I don't know. I've turned it on there and usually doesn't make it, that I know of anyway. It hasn't really ever caused any trouble. It's probably not really gasifying yet. No, not really. I'll check in with you later, and once it does start gasifying, and show you what's going on. So hang with me. Okay, the secondary light turned red, so it's basically everything's wide open now. Yeah, the pump's pumping good. Everything seems to be going good. Let me open this gasification chamber. Yeah, she's blowing a little bit of it. See where that flame's coming out the bottom there? That's where it's basically it's burning the smoke off. But it's not really, it's still not really hot yet. You know, when that gets up to like 175, it really usually blows out a really good blast. In fact, I think around 750, it'll go back into the low. This will turn like a white color, and then that'll mean it's back into the like half throttle for the secondary air. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you to death with this, but so that's kind of a prime example of why you should start things up before you really need them. If it would have been, you know, really cold and I really needed to run this thing, you know, especially if you had this outside, you know, if this was outside, you'd want to run things. First little cold snap you got, you'd want to run it really just to make sure everything's working good. But anyway, you all know that if you've got any kind of a wood stove, you know you gotta check things out before season. Don't just expect it all to work, because you might have a mouse in the electronic part of it, or other things, you know, pump motors, all that stuff. It all goes bad through the summer when it's not being used. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Thumb Country Stuff, and hope I didn't bore you to death too much. And if you hung on this long, cheers to you. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching, and take her easy.